We thank you for giving us another life, and we thank you for another beautiful day. To go through our lessons today, may you make us instruments to do good things. And then also, please enlighten our minds, give us the strength and courage to participate in our subject today. And so, thank you also for this opportunity to learn and serve others, and help us to always remember the truth of your glory. And also, uh, please always keep us safe from harm and illnesses. All of these things we pray through your powerful name. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So good afternoon, class. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
now and forever.
Okay, so now and forever. Okay, so before we move on to topic 6 or chapter 6, which is all about migration, so we're going to check attendance first. Okay, so first would be, so Miss Camille Alemania.
Good afternoon, Sir Present.
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Alemania. Okay, next would be Mr. Christian Oscar Aureliano. Okay, next would be Mr. Kent Romance Bandong. Okay, so next would be Mr. Cedric Barcena. Okay, so good afternoon, Mr. Bandong and Mr. Barcena. Okay, next would be Miss Kimberly Kabagti.
Good afternoon, Sir Present po.
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Kabagti. Okay, next would be Mr. Rico Daniel Katakutan. Okay, next would be Mr. Joash Colomer. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Colomer. Okay, next would be Mr. Aerol Jan Coronado. Okay, so next would be Mr. Blood Ryan Colango. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Colango. Okay, next would be Mr. John Christopher Delgado. Okay, next would be Mr. Vincent Dinero. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Dinero. Okay, so for Mr. Evangelista na nag-run out sila. Okay, so okay, next would be Mr. Carl Christopher Fernando. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Fernando. Okay, next, Mr. Nico Paul Gomera. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Gomera. Okay, so next would be Mr. Jean Gulanes Jr. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Gulanes. Okay, next would be Miss Julaila Marie Lales. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Lales. Okay, so next would be Mr. Salvador Gregory Malbog.
Present, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Malbog. Okay, next would be Mr. Giancarlo Marquez. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Marquez. Okay, next would be Mr. Tristan Lee Montaner. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Montaner. Okay, next would be Mr. Geno Nicolas.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Nicolas. Okay, next would be Mr. Justin Lloyd Palma. Okay, next would be Miss Laimi Antoinette Pisao. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Pisao. Okay, next would be Mr. John Christian Prieto. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Prieto. Okay, next would be Mr. Nelvin Troy Roble. Okay, so good afternoon, Mr. Roble. Okay, next would be Mr. Joseph Benedict Sulian. Okay, and then next would be Mr. Kobe Sumpia. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Sumpia. Okay, so next would be Mr. Renz Marion Tabugon. Okay, and then Miss Jan Milena Villaflores. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Villaflores. Next would be Mr. Ronel Chris Villamil. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Villamil. And then last but not the least, Mr. Jess Visaya Jr. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Visaya. Okay, so just a recap lang guys, no, for those who are not yet here or not be able to connect as of now. So si Mr. Arellano, by Mr. Katakutan, Mr. Coronado, Mr. Delgado, Mr. Evangelista, Mr. Palma, Mr. Solian, and Mr. Tabugon. Okay, so present si Mr. Katakutan. Okay, so those people pa na yung wala pa naka-connect as of now. So for this afternoon, okay, so we're actually going to discuss about migration, which is topic 6 or chapter 6. Okay, so based on the course pack, which is also available no, on our Google Classroom. Okay, so learning objectives under this discussion or under this topic, okay, would be, so number 1, so at the end of this lessons guys, no, so all of us, especially you students, should be able to, so number 1, so write a reflection paper examining the phenomenon of migration. So that's one of your activities for this chapter or for this topic. So letter B or second, create a Venn diagram showing the difference between internal and international migration. So si internal and international migration are the two types of migration. Okay, so and then lastly, so compare and contrast the different theories of migration. Okay, so migration is a worldwide phenomenon. So no country is exempted from migration. Okay, so globalization has made migration easy, but at the same time, it poses several threats to culture, economics, and politics. So both of the home country and receiving country. So that's according to UN Trager in 2005. Okay, so under learning content, so the topic content would be, so letter A, so migration as a worldwide phenomenon. Okay, so letter B, about international and internal migration. So letter C would be theories of migration. And then letter D would be linkages, remittances, and multi-locality. So we're actually going to focus on three on this from a letter A to letter C, guys, no? Usually this one, si linkages, remittances, and multi-locality would be the effects na no ni migration. Okay, so according to United Nations, international migrants globally reach an estimated 272 million in last year in 2019. So an increase of 51 million since 2010. Okay, so like increase now of 51 million in 9 years. Okay, so further, the scale and pace of international migration is difficult to predict. Okay, since it's closely connected to acute events, so such severe instability, economic crisis, or conflict. So those are, ano daw, no? Those are parang main reasons why people wanted to migrate or wanted to live from one place to another. Okay, so as well as long-term trends such as demographic change, economic development, communications, technology advancement, and transportation access. So for example, like sa demographic change case, no, when you talk about or when we study demography, so for example, kung ano, no, actually study about kung gaano kadami ang when it comes to population size. So that's actually demographics, guys, no, or demography. Usually, no, nakafocus sa population. So chances are if you are living in a city, okay, or if you're living no in a city and then the situation would become worse because of overpopulation, the chances are you're going to migrate to somewhere na you think na dili overcrowded or overpopulated. Okay, so usually higher percentage na lipatan mo would be a town or a municipality, no? Because for sure, if gikan ka sa city and then you feel like we can all agree to this, no, na living in a city is quite different, no, living in a town or living in a municipality. Like when it comes to the economic activities, we do all know daghan jud economic activities, no, and economic opportunities sa city. But the negative side or the drawback of it would be it is much more stressful and dili ganun ka healthy ang environment when it comes to living in a city compare sa when you live in a town or in a municipality, guys, no? That's really true. Okay, so especially in our society or in the Philippines nung na setting. So if you're living in the city, there is overpopulation, so overcrowded siya, and then usually ang pollution is much more present, no? Compare if you are living in a municipality or if you're living in a town. So mas lessen, no, or mas gamay ang volume sa tao and then ang volume sa stress and then sa pollution. Okay? So but usually ang ginatawag no na so that's why also nakalagay no diri no sa long-term trends because we all know na as in the future mas madagan pa jud ang tao, okay? And then so sa economic development, communications technology advancement and transportation access. So usually if we're looking for this, so chances are if we came from a town, no, or from a municipality, okay, we're going to transfer to a city because of these things. Okay? Economic development, communications technology advancement, and transportation access. Okay, so International Organization for Migration in 2019. Okay, so the impact of migration to a home country and receiving country varies. Okay, so lahi-lahi, guys, no? So like for example, sa receiving country, Okay, usually for economic reasons, atong mga ano no, atong mga skilled workers nagaadto pa sa ubang pungsod para magtrabaho, guys, no? Okay, because of greener pastures or bigger salary. Okay, so that's actually a negative effect sa atoa, sa Philippines, no, sa atong country. Okay, because instead of having skilled workers or skilled individuals or skilled professionals sa atong country, okay, nag-aadto pa sila sa ubang country. Okay? Or like that's what you call brain drain, guys, no, na ginatawag. Okay, so that's why ginsabi ni Lillian Trager na the effect, okay, of or the impact or the effect of migration to the home country and receiving country varies. Okay, so usually imagine kung sa receiving end naman or sa receiving country naman, oh, it's a good thing na skilled workers or skilled professionals are actually going in your country or daghan nag-aadto no for economic development or for economic progress or economic opportunities. So the drawback naman would be sa demographics. Okay? So we do all know na ang epekto no sa isa ka lugar if daghan kaayog tao. Okay, so like in the case in India, guys, no. So that's what we are actually going to discuss later on. So that's why India, okay, naging ano siya, no. The more overcrowded the place is, so sa pandemic, mas ano siya, mas vulnerable siya, guys, no, sa pandemic. So lisod lisod mag social distancing if you are or if that specific country, no, or a specific country or a specific place is overcrowded. Okay? Or overpopulated siya. So, kahit ano mo ka social distancing, guys, lisod jud. That's why, India, nasa sa top 5 no, na countries all over the world na may highest number of positive cases sa COVID-19. That's because of it. Okay, so likewise, so Lillian Trager in 2005 mentioned that home country refers to the original or the birth country of the migrant or the immigrant. Okay, so that, and then the receiving country or on the other hand refers to the transition country of the migrant. The transition country, no, pag maglipat ka na or imong transferan, guys, no. So that would be the receiving country. However, several years, the receiving country becomes the home country of the migrant. Okay, so because ma-consider no na for example na nag ano ka nag good guys no, nag-migrate na jud ka is like for example, you live no from case for example sa case no sa like internal lang muna no na migration. So for example, you are from for example sa Davao region lang guys no. Okay, so for example, you are from Davao del Sur or you're from Davao del Norte. Okay, so it's either Taga-Tagum ka no or Digos or other places no sa Davao del Norte or Davao del Sur. And then you your family decide to okay live na sa Davao. And then nag-abot na siya years no or more than years. So that's already can be considered as a okay internal migration, meaning internal because within the country lang, within the borders of our country, meaning wala ka nagawa sa border no sa Philippines. Okay, so for example, if nag-vacation ka lang guys no, for example, may balay ka sa Luzon no, sa Visayas and sa Mindanao. So if you're just going to have a vacation, so that can no long that cannot be considered as a migration. Okay, so that's for the ano no uh, regarding the course pack or the coverage no or the things that we're going to discuss in this part no or in this chapter or in this topic. Okay, so okay, so migration. Okay, so migration types, causes, and consequences. Okay, but before we start, so let's have a let's have a video first, okay, regarding migration. So let's watch this YouTube video by Mr. Sin. So about migration. So we will talk about the what I've said, like the reasons, no, especially why people migrate from one country to other countries. Okay, so if you have concerns, no, regarding the video, so use the chat box, please. Okay, because I'm going to turn off my microphone. Okay, so that it won't hindi mag-echo, guys, no, regarding sa pag-play sa video. Okay, so let's start.
Hello there, geographers, and welcome to the Mr. Sin channel. In this video, we'll be looking at why people would migrate. We're going to be talking about push and pull factors, things that push people out of a region or an area, and things that'll pull them into it. When we're looking at migration and the move of people and the spread of ideas, we have to talk about push factors and pull factors. They're kind of what it sounds like. Push factors are things that push people out of an area. They make it so they no longer want to be there anymore, and they want to move to a different location. We could also even look at this for jobs and different things within your community. Something that is going to make you feel unwelcome, well, you're going to probably want to leave then. Push factors are things that are not welcoming. This could be poor economic conditions, a lack of opportunity, war or political oppression, or just oppression from your neighbors or people in the area. These are things that cause us to no longer want to be in a certain location. And because of that, then we decide to leave. So that's a push factor. Now, pull factors are a little bit different. Pull factors are what would attract someone to an area. A pull factor makes you want to move to that location. It makes you want to go to a certain area. We can break pull factors down into four main categories: economic pull factors, political, cultural, and also environmental. Our first category is economic pull factors, and this one is the most powerful at moving people. For here, people always want to move to areas with opportunity, and so they will go to areas with more economic opportunity. Places that have poor economic conditions are more likely to push people out. Economics is a big reason why people move. This is also why current day the United States is a big destination for a lot of migrants and immigrants. Many people, particularly from Central America, want to come to the United States because of all the economic opportunity here. Let's look at an example. Let's say that we have a city and they just discovered a bunch of natural resources. This is going to start driving economic growth, and we're going to see an attraction to this particular area. We're going to see more miners, more loggers, more people come that want to be able to harvest and utilize these natural resources. There, then, we're also going to have more businesses come. If we're having all these new workers come into this area, that means there's going to be more people with money. So they have money to spend on different goods. And with that, then, we're also going to see probably more scientists and geologists come to look at what's going on with the environment and analyze the different areas. If we're having mines, well, they need to look at what's happening in the mines. Trees, we're going to be looking at different carbon monoxide output and what's going on there with the environment. And with all these excess people coming, we'll need more restaurants and stores and more housing. So all of this, just a simple discovery of natural resources, it becomes a huge pull factor. And we can transform an economy overnight, as now we're starting to see more workers and people come from all over the place just because of new opportunity. Our next topic is political. Now, people want to go to an area that's politically stable, where you're not seeing a lot of tension with the government and its citizens, where safety is on the rise, and we're not seeing a lot of crime escalation. They also want to go to an area where the government is supporting the people, where they're fulfilling their needs and helping the economy grow and make sure that we're not seeing a recession or anything that would cause uncomfortable times for its citizens. So people move to an area that's politically stable. Areas that aren't politically stable, well, that's going to be another push factor. That might cause refugees, someone who feels like they're persecuted and they have to flee the country, or internally displaced people, where they're within their same borders, but there's a conflict and they've had to flee internally inside the country, or maybe even push them to become an asylum seeker. And that is where they're going to be going to another country in hopes of getting recognized as a refugee and gain that status. But a political motivation here is stability. People want to move to an area that's stable. The next category is cultural. Now, this is going to be different for each person because everyone has a different culture and a different view on life. Some people want to move to a big cities where they're going to have more diversity, both with their economic opportunities, but also in just the citizens who are living in that area. They'll start to be able to experience a faster paced life, and they might at the same time also have some higher crime rates and more traffic issues. Some people like the suburbs where you can have a yard, a front and a back, you'll have a bigger house, you'll have a lower crime rate, better schools, and you'll have maybe a more homogeneous area. So diversity goes down. Or some people want more of the rural lifestyle where they're in a small town and you have that family feel and you know everyone in the area and you're able to kind of pick and choose your community. Everyone has different cultural things that will pull them to a certain area. So culture can be a big aspect of it, particularly when people are having families. We see a lot of people start to move into the suburbs or in smaller communities when they have families because they want to make sure they're in a safe area. So this is a big pull factor for people. Our last category is the environment. People are attracted to environments that promote not only a happy life and a successful economy and a stable society, but ones that they feel comfortable with. Remember back to my video on the 4 twos, the too hot, too cold, too wet, and too high. Those are areas people don't want to be. I should definitely know some of this. I live in Minnesota where it is very cold in the winter. A lot of people don't want to live up here because of the coldness. They want to go to a warmer area. Now there's other barriers that impact migration, such as mountains or government laws, restrictions, and also even just money. It's expensive to move. At the same time, though, what we've seen over time is it's become easier and easier to migrate and move. With communication and transportation improving, barriers we used to have are no longer there. That's also why we're seeing an increase of people moving, particularly to different countries that they see as more opportunity that is going to be available to them, where they can get a better life. And then we see now less of the physical restrictions, but more of a governmental stance. Governments now are passing laws and putting up barriers to try and prevent migration of people. Now, this video was really quick, but hopefully it gave you a good understanding of different push and pull factors and how that can impact people's decision processes. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you need any help with AP Human Geography, check out some of the other videos on the channel. I'm Mr. Sin. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you online.
Okay, so that's just a parang make video about migration. Especially okay, the presenter, so si Mr. Sin, okay, talk about or presented no like usually the push and pull factors. Okay, so like so it was clearly stated okay by Mr. Sin or by the presenter in the video okay that usually so push factors would be the forces or factors no, that or reasons why people would move away from their okay, from their country or their place of origin. Okay, and then usually, so pull factors would be factors or reasons or things no that would attract people or those people to go to that specific place. Okay, so what can you say about diba, Mr. Sen provided like okay for okay, for consequences guys no or for aspects no regarding sa push and pull factors. So the economic, political, okay, socio-cultural or cultural and then environment or the environmental aspect. Okay, so what can you say about the economic aspect okay regarding sa push and pull factor? Okay, so what can you say about that or what's your observation with the video that we have watched? Okay, so okay, so Miss Kabagti, what can you say about the when regards to the economic aspect of push and pull factors? Okay, so anong gin-explain ni Mr. Sen about it?
Ano sir, ang push and pull factor kay katong mag-migrate siya atong economic, political, cultural ug environment sir katong nasa lahing reason para sa migration sir.
Okay, so pero ano, I mean regarding sa economic na aspect or sa economic reason, so what's ano mo na ano, no, ano mo na understand or na observe sa video regarding sa katulang na part, sa economic lang na part.
Ano sir, ah kanang mag-settle sa mag-set ay type na naka sir.
Mm. Sige, sige. Okay, so how about sa ano sa political while waiting for Miss Kimberly's explanation, no? Okay, so okay, Mr. Dinero, so how about the political aspect or the political okay, reason regarding sa push and pull factors? There's actually a lot no naging sabi si Mr. Sin. So, what are those things no na still na remember nimo or na observe nimo regarding sa political aspect? Okay, so okay, so regarding naman sa cultural, so Mr. Colomer, so that's your ano. And then lastly sa environmental, okay, Mr. Fernando. Okay, so thank you, Miss Kabagti. So regarding sa economic guys, no, as what Mr. Sen on the video said, na usually push or pull factors regarding sa economic opportunities. That's why people would choose a city over a town or a municipality regarding sa economic guys, no, because we do all know that economic opportunities like jobs, okay, or a bigger salary or a bigger market if you're a businessman or an entrepreneur, businessman or a businesswoman. So we do all know that's really true, no? Na ang opportunities, economic opportunities or like yung mong market or ang imong potential no, potential customers mas daghan jud or mas dako jud kumpara sa sa municipality, no, if you are in the city. So usually that's the main reason why people migrate. May ginatawag kasi guys, no, na sa migration, may ginatawag na migration streams. Okay? So we're actually going to encounter it later on, no, sa presentation. But actually there are 4 migration streams. So usually people would transfer or migrate from rural place to urban. So meaning a town, municipality to a city. Or pwede din na urban to urban or city to city. And also pwede din na urban to rural. Okay? So from city life to country life or municipality life. And pwede po na rural to rural. Okay, sa tuwa kasi guys, usually sa Amerika manggod parang ma-divide ilang community, no, into 3. So like the urban and then may ginatawag po sila na suburban. That's why i-present kanina, no, or suburbs to ang ano nila tawag nila no. Okay, so and then the country life. Okay, kana ang town, no, or ang municipality. Okay, or countryside, no. Okay, so pero usually manggod sa Philippines na setting, so usually it's either the two lang guys, no. So it's either urban or as rural, okay? So according kay Mr. Colomer, so sa cultural, okay, so usually no for usually kasi especially in European or Western countries or sa Amerika, no, usually medyo open ang tao or actually depende man, no, pero usually you're going to be dealing with diverse type of people. Okay, usually sa kunara ka sa city. So laylahi na tao na especially if naka sa city, no, so you're going to deal with people with diverse culture. So laylahi ang views in life guys, no. So that's really true. So maybe that's the main reason, that's the thing, no, na pull or push for push others to migrate sa urban or sa cities guys, no. Okay, so sa political, so usually as what Mr. Sin said a while ago sa video, so usually, no, sometimes wala kay choice, no, even though you are not politically active, but because there are conflicts or there are wars sa inyong lugar, so like what happened in Syria guys, no, or in our case naitabo sa Marawi. Okay, so that's actually a consider, no, na that's why that's ang iyang result or ang iyang effect would be mag-create siya ng mga ginatawag na to na refugees. Okay, so na and also okay, so that's why sabi to kanina, no, sa video ni Mr. Sin na even though you don't have a political affiliation, but because of conflict or because of political guys, no, okay, political may actually may term yan siya. Okay, so actually political persecution. Okay, so chances are mapahawa jud ka or gusto mag-give jud si mo, no, ng reason na okay, you're going to migrate or you're going to seek refuge, no, to other places. Okay, so and then sa environmental, okay, so we do all know, no, so also na-experience na po na sa atong mga kababayan. Okay, so what actually are happening right now sa Cagayan, no, and also sa Bicol region and then some NCR as well. So like natural disasters, it would really prove. Siyempre kung ikaw guys, no, always dra ka na sa for example flood prone area or sa sa always ginabagyo na lugar. So chances are it would give you a reason or would give you a push factor to migrate or to transfer no from a safer place. Okay, na you think na okay na dili siya flood prone or natural disaster prone guys no na area. Okay, so that's regarding sa environment. And also ginsabi doon no sa video na we tend to really go or we tend to really migrate sa mga countries or sa mga places who are okay safe and stable. Okay, we wanted, or all of us, if or majority of us, if not all of us, no, wanted to live in a more stable na place. That's why, for example, if kayo, no, if you're going to be given a chance, or pangutanon mo, or kung i-ask mo, no, or i-question mo, no, kung if you're going to be given a chance to migrate internationally or asa na country. So usually siguro natubag ninyo katong mga poor countries or mga first world countries because okay, their government or their country is stable na guys. So wala man siguro sa inyo no magsabi na digto mi mag-migrate sa mga LDC or sa mga less developed country because syempre we all know that their environment no or especially their example economy and then when it comes to political guys no dili sila ganun ka stable. Okay. So thank you guys for your answers. Okay, and then so let's regarding sa migration. Okay, so migration types, causes and consequences. So like sa consequences kato no ang sa four things na provide ni Mr. Sin about sa push and pull factors. So there are economic consequences. So it's either a negative or a positive. Also, okay, sa political, so cultural, and then sa environment. So we're actually going to discuss it in this presentation, guys, no? Okay, so the United Nations define migration as the movement of a person or persons from one place to another, involving a permanent move of home for over a year. Okay, so that's why as what I've said a while ago, kung bakasyon ka lang guys, no, and then that's not a permanent move of home. Usually, di ba, kahit pila ka pa years, no, mag-vacation, okay? But usually, syempre, we all know na wala mang good sobra good kayo, no, ang vacation or like pila ka years jud. Okay, so it actually depends man, no, pero usually, kung permanent move of home na jud, that's the time na ma-consider siya na migration. Okay, so human migration is the permanent change of residence when individual or groups, okay, excluding such movements as nomadism and migrant labor. So dili ma-consider ang nomadism, no, because we all know na sa nomadism wala man ka nagadugay or kung nomadic tribe ka, no, or member sa nomadic tribe, you don't really last, okay, for a long time, no, or for a very long time sa isa ka specific place. Okay, because syempre nomadic ka mo in the first place, okay, or nomads mo no in the first place. And then also migrant labor. Okay, so pero syempre we all know na miyara man good guys no, miyara man nag-migrate not only because of jobs no. So parang na yan siya, appeal na yan siya, na siya no, parang option na siya. Syempre if you migrate, okay, especially if if you start from scratch na pod balik. So syempre you really need to work. Pero lahi pod ang like sa mga parts sa OFW guys no. So that cannot be actually considered no na migration nila because that's for labor. Because syempre if be given a chance kana mga OFW guys no, given a chance if is there enough job opportunities no sa atong country, chances are wala na jud may maging OFW guys no, but because of economic opportunities, okay, so that's the main reason why naga OFW ang isa ka Pinoy or naga experience no sa what we call migrant labor. Okay, so that's actually according no to Encyclopedia Britannica. So migration is global. Okay, so if you can see on the picture, no, so in this picture, okay, so you can see, so anyone, anywhere in the world. So before, gina-consider pa na migration is very, so kahit ngayon, no, it's quite expensive to migrate, no? Siyempre, it's not easy. Okay, so but before, like the barriers guys, no, or the problems is quite big pa. But today's time, because of improvements in communication and technology, and also with the transportation or the transportation sector, it's quite easy na lang mag-migrate. Okay, as long as you have the resources to do so, or if you have the financial resources, no, to do so. Okay, so in 2005, so 191 million people were counted as living outside of their country of birth or katanong na consider na original residence nimo guys. Okay? So 191 million no in 2005. So I think much bigger na siya ngayon no in year so 2019. That's why in the sa course pa kanina ginsabi no na 272 million na. Okay? So which is almost double na guys no of this number. Okay, so and then the number of immigrants worldwide has doubled since World War II. And then today's kung ilagay lang daw no or ibutang lang ang tanang migrants or immigrants sa isa ka country or sa isa ka lugar, they would actually would form the fifth most populous country in the world. Okay, so if all immigrants or all migrants no live in the same place or in the same country, okay, internationally guys no, or international migrants, would become the fifth or form the fifth most populous country in the world. Okay, so so on this data, okay, so if you can see, so the leading destination no especially regarding or with regards to migration. So see USA jud no. Okay, so United States of America. So out of the top 10, so majority of the countries are actually in Europe. So Spain, UK, France, Ukraine, Germany, and Russia. Okay, so and then ang two major countries no sa North America, so si USA and Canada. And then sa Asia lang would be si Saudi Arabia and India. So I think majority no sa Saudi Arabia usually would be seeking of refuge no or either or also for work purposes. Okay, so but kani usually for actually sa tanan man sila no for number because usually man good guys usually kung mag-migrate ka that's really for majority of the time economic opportunity. Okay, because as what I've said, if there are a lot of jobs lang no, available for sure, for example sa atong country, so people would not really, or if the economic opportunities no in our country is abundant lang, so there are no way no na sino ba no ang gusto malayo sa pamilya no para for the sake of working lang. Okay, so the main reason why people uh, being pulled no to those countries because of the economic opportunities and then ang belief no sa Pinoy na magsakripisyo para sa future no sa iyang pamilya. Okay, so that's why so sa data no still so in thousands no in 2005. But I guess in the latest data no like mas daghan na nag-adto sa Europe no. And then second na lang si North America or si USA and then sa Canada. Okay, so Okay, so actually this would be the latest data, guys, no? Okay, shared actually by United Nations. Okay, so if you can see, mas daghan no si Europe compared kay Northern America. Okay, so if you can see now on the table, okay, so that's because this is combined na no for all the countries in Europe. Okay, because if you've seen the okay, so the data na sa top 10, so usually daghan jud countries sa Europe. Okay, so 1, so Italy no, so 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the top 10 sa late. Sorry, 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5 countries no sa Europe. Okay, so combined, okay, so that's why mas dako na siya over sa North America. Okay, so 82 no, 82 million, and then sa Northern America would be 59 million. Okay, so that's the blue one would be for 2019 no, and ang green would be for year 2000. Okay, pero syempre individually still si United States ang number 1. Okay, at 51 million. Okay, so okay, so let's continue. Okay, regarding the presentation. Okay, so sa types of migration, that's what I've said. Okay, so actually there's a lot of types no, of migration, but this would be the most common or ang usually na gina-discuss, no? Okay, so number 1 would be internal. So this refers to a change, okay, of residents within national boundaries, such as between states, okay, provinces, cities, or municipalities, or states, no, or for example, regions. Okay, in our case. Okay, so within the borders, no, of national or within the national boundaries. Meaning wala ka nagawa sa border sa Philippines or national boundaries no sa Philippines. So meaning within the country lang. So still, but it is considered a migration if there's a permanent change of residence. So number 2, so international migration or second type no ni migration. So this refers to change of residence over national boundaries. Okay, so an international migrant or immigrant is someone who moves to a different country. Okay, so regarding international migrants, so it can be further classified into 3. Okay, so legal immigrants, illegal immigrants, and refugees. So for legal immigrants are those people who move with legal permission, okay, of the receiver nation, meaning complete imong papers or complete imong documents, no, for you to be allowed to stay on that country or for you to be allowed or for you to be allowed to transfer to that specific country. So number 2 naman with the illegal immigrants are those who move without legal permission. Usually no sa Mexico and US border no, so daghan jud na always. So yes, chances are sa those states no na hapit sa Mexico, like sa California, sa New Mexico, sa Arizona, and sa Texas, so chances are may mga daghan dyan na no, mga illegal immigrants. Okay. So, and then also, so there are times no na for example if because usually 'di ba anang mga OFW, so usually ilang ano no would be by contracts na guys no. So chances are if dili ka na ma-renew imong contract, mauli jud ka. Okay, for example nag-expire na imong kontrata no, wala na na-renew. So and then you're still going to stay and mag-seek ano ka no, magtago ka. So that's why ginatawag no sa ano na mga TNT or tago ng tago because illegal sila, illegal immigrants sila. Okay. So and then so number 3 would be so refugees. So are those cross an international boundary to escape persecution. Okay, pero pwede man po no sa refugee na pwede man ka mag-seek refuge without or internally guys no. Okay, so like for example, it's either because of political or environmental. So, example, na may natural disaster and then you seek refuge no sa imong mga relatives from other places. So that's you will still going can be considered as a refugee. So like what happened no sa Leyte before during the sa Yolanda no. Okay, so daghan man to na displace. Okay? But usually ang sa refugee man god because usually ang ginaano is political no because of conflict jud no because of conflicts or mga wars. Okay, so like what happened in Syria. Okay, so daghan tao no na displace. Okay, and then naging refugee. Okay, so regarding sa trends in migration, so usually no sa India, ang gin-provide na example would be so during the British period or during the British colonial period sa India, so many Indians or millions of Indians no laborers were sent to countries such as Mauritius, Caribbean islands, Fiji and South Africa, by British, from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar to work as plantation workers. Usually chances are ang uban diri naging ano no. Okay, they gindala sila no sa mga British colonizers either in their own free will or against their will. Okay? So in the 20th century, semi-skilled Indians migrated to the neighboring countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, and African countries as artisans, traders, and factory workers. Okay, so same naman po no sa mga Filipinos. So Filipinos are actually all over the world. Same naman po sa mga Indians guys no or people from India. Okay, so in recent times, professionals like doctors, engineers, software engineers, management consultants, financial experts, media persons, okay, migrated to countries such as USA, Canada, UK, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, and Germany, etc. So these professionals are highly educated and the highest paid. Okay, so that's the main reason why as what I've said earlier, the negative effect no sa home country or kung asa mo gikan no would really be ang ginatawag na what we call na brain drain. Okay, because actually mga skilled professional or skilled workers instead of staying in their home country, okay, naga-migrate sila usually for economic reasons or for economic consequences. Okay, so especially because of this guys no, okay, kani highest paid. Okay, so regarding sa like sa India, so the main records no, okay, nga gina-base nila kung paano kaya usually imong pag like nag-migrate na jud ka. Okay, so sa India would be so place of birth. Okay, like example kung asa ka no na tao. So your village or your town, your municipality or your or your city. So that's usually, guys, no? And then duration of the duration of residence stay, or duration no, kung gaano kadugay nagstay no sa kanang lugar. Okay? And then also place of last residence, and then okay, reasons for migration from place of last residence. Okay, because usually sa India, guys, okay, may ano sila, may parang may regulation sila, no? Dili lang ka basta-basta maka-migrate. So I think that should be the case man dapat, no, kahit asa, no. Okay, na kahit diri sa Philippines, no, na like may naga-regulate for people na dili isa ka lugar mag-overcrowding or mag-overpopulated because of pagustuhan na lang migrate or pagustuhan na lang transfer, no, from one residence to the other. Okay, so it's because syempre we do all know it would really result into okay, like ang problem usually may economic and may environmental, no, as well as socio-cultural na consequences. Okay, so let's skip na lang this one. Okay, so kanino, so why do people move from one area to the other? So that's what you have what we have watched on the video a while ago. So push factors, okay, would be reasons or things, no, that would provide you reasons why you wanted to leave that specific place or your home region. Okay, so kato, no, so sa economic would be okay, like there is may recession or may economic ano, no, okay, may instability when it comes to economic or may economic crisis, guys, no. So usually that's the main reason, or when regards to economic, no, economic factors na mag-push mo outside of your country or within the country pero mangita kag lugar sa inyong country that would provide you with better economic chances or opportunities. Okay, so that's why now that this would be the question that you would ask yourself if mag-migrate ka. So mag-migrate ba ka or magstay ka sa dira na lugar? Okay, so next would be reasons why city seems attractive. So that would be the pull factors or specific place na anong ga-attract sa imo nga digto ka ma-transfer or digto ka maadto, no, na lugar. Okay, so usually, for example, usually man gud guys sa political, guys, no, so or especially sa conflict or you are a refugee, parang wala man kay choice, guys, no, but you're just going to look for place na magdawat sa imuha or mag-accept sa imuha. It's because for your safety. Okay, so usually kana, no, or kung for example kung ipa-deport ka sa inyong country, or you're going to seek asylum, no, mag-seek ka ng country na magkup-kup sa imuha while you are in political exile. Okay, so these are actually things that happened na, no, and then there are a few examples of it, okay, even sa atong country. Okay, so for example, no, si Dr. Jose Rizal, no, so na-exile siya gani, di ba, sa Dapitan. Okay, so that one good example. So usually because of that's actually because of political, okay, political na consequence. Okay, so reasons, so kato na what I've said, so that's the pull factor. So reasons that would attract you to that specific place. Okay, so kanina, so economic causes or sa economic aspect, no, ni migration. So usually this is really parang major reasons why people migrate, no, especially to have better economic condition or in search of better economic conditions, especially when it comes to work or when it comes to jobs, no, or employment. Okay, so also number 2 would be urbanization. Okay, so moving to cities because of poor economic condition in rural areas. Pero actually when it comes to economic opportunities, guys, no, so okay, that's why ginsabi poor economic conditions. Pero when it comes to living, no, when it comes to environment, for sure dili poor ang environmental conditions sa sa rural areas. It is much more cleaner and much more safer, guys, no? Mag-live sa town and municipality. When it comes to the environment, guys, no? O compare sa, okay, stressful and, okay, na grabe yung pollution, no? Or toxic, okay, na lifestyle sa city. Okay? So, also, migration to escape overpopulation and its effects. Okay, so migration to suburbs or suburban, guys, now na place, or also sa rural areas in order to secure better living conditions, especially better school districts and also less crowded living conditions. Okay, pero usually, guys, ang maka-afford mong goods sa mga suburbs na yung tawag, guys, no, or suburbans would be na usually ka na mga well-off, no, or mga dato, okay, na mga tao. Okay, that's why for people or for ordinary people like us, we prefer living in we prefer living in towns or municipalities, guys, no? Okay, so and then also, so migration to escape poor climate conditions such as drought. Okay, and also migration to escape natural disasters. Okay, so actually much more on ano siya ganito, environmental ang kani. Okay. So example would be, so the 10 cities erected in Turkey after the 1999 earthquake, some of them are still there, and other cases the residents have moved away to live with relatives and haven't come back. Okay, so that's for economic. Okay, so for political causes of migration, okay, so kanino, migration as punishment for crimes committed. Okay, so like usually, okay ka na, no, maano ka, okay, mapadeport ka, guys, no? Okay, so also, or ma-in-exile ka, guys, no? So kani, migration as a result of enslavement. So as what I've said earlier, katong time, no, sa British colonial period, okay, nagindapang dala nila, no, ang ubang Indian sa other colonies nila. So chances are it's because of this. Okay, migration as a result of enslavement. And also katong mga during this time, no, na grabe paka-rampant, no, ang slave trade. Okay, na people from Africa, okay, gindala, no, sa journey, no, into the new world, especially sa USA or sa Americas, guys, no. Okay, so also migration to escape war, invasion, and military takeover, or etc. Okay, so example would be sa itong naitabo, no, sa Syria. Okay, or naitabo pod sa Marawi. So this would be an example. So that's actually political yan siya. Okay, so exiles, so example given, exiles from Cuba and Castro years, to Tamils from Sri Lanka during the Civil War, and Tibetans to India after Chinese takeover. So dili gusto, no, sa mga taga-Tibet, okay, na-under sila sa influence, no, sa mga Chinese, so they moved to Africa. So usually kaniyang ginawa yan, no, ni Africa and then ni India, guys, no. Who owns this place, no, ang Tibet, no. Okay, so kanang lugar gud ni Dalai Lama, guys. Okay, no? So, Dalai Lama, so, drana, so, Tibet, guys, no? So, that's one of the main reasons man for sure na nag-aawa. Up until now, okay, like, may border war, yapon, guys, no? Si India and then si China. Okay, so sa social causes, or when it comes to, so socio-cultural, guys, no? So, ito kanina ang giningon, no, sa video. Actually, also cultural consequences or causes si migration. So one example or provided info, no, about social or socio-cultural causes ni migration would be migration to spread a religion. So like what Prophet Muhammad did, no, and also what Jesus did and his disciples did, no, to spread Christianity. Okay, so also migration to reunite with family, friends, okay, who have already previously migrated. So for example, imong parents, no, especially for example imong mama, okay, or imong papa, no, nag-migrate na, and then petitionan kanila to be able for you to follow them in those country, no, or in that specific country kung asa na sila. So that's actually big of social and cultural, okay, causes or consequences ni migration. Okay, so migration to spread a political philosophy like Marxism and democracy, etc. Okay, so also migration to find personal freedom or to live a certain lifestyle or to hold certain beliefs. That's why no, as what why Mr. Colomer said a while ago, no, na may cultural diversity. Okay, so if you, for example, if you wanted or if you want to live in a place, no, na dili ka, for example, dili or open sila, no, there are actually countries or places na why they are going to open, no, to cultural diversity. Okay, especially, no, living this, for example, kanino to live a certain lifestyle. Okay, so that's when it comes now to social cultural uh, causes or reasons or consequences ni migration. Okay, so kanina as what I've said earlier regarding sa streams, no, of migration. So there are actually four. Okay, so from rural to rural, rural to urban, urban to urban, and urban to rural. So as what I've said, so pag municipality, no, or province to province or provincial life, okay, without transferring, no, to a city or to a urban place, so that's rural. Okay, so from a town to a city, so rural to urban, to city, urban to urban, and then from the city to, okay, to a town, so urban to rural. Okay, so sa India, okay, so intrastate, okay, meaning, ano, no, within the region, okay, so migrants are larger than interstate migrants. So meaning sa India daw, guys, mas dagan gusto na mag-migrate within the region. Okay? So kaysa sa or usually kanino rural to rural or urban to urban than interstate migrants. Okay, so sa intrastate usually dominated by female. Okay, babae ang usually, no, na ganahan mag-migrate lang for a short distance or for usually mga rural areas. Okay? Usually because of marriage, guys. Okay? So, example, pag makasal ng Indian na babae, chances are mag-migrate dyan siya sa place yang bana. But usually for, for short distances lang. For sa mga lalaki naman, so sa interstate or inter-region, okay na migration, so dominated by male migrants. Because usually for economic reasons. Okay, that's why ang like sa India, makita ka, no, na mas daghan babae sa mga rural places nila or rural regions. Pero when it comes to urban or sa mga cities, like the ratio, no, sa babae and the lalaki, mas daghan ang lalaki. Okay, because of this reason, no. Okay, economic reasons. Okay, so that's why now females prefer short distance rural to rural migration, whereas male migrate to long-distance rural to urban regions. Okay, so consequences naman, okay, so consequences of migration. So number one, so sa economic, no, so sa positive niya na side, okay, so actually applicable po din no, sa Philippines. So the remittance, okay, so remittances sent by migrants to their homes and help in growth of the economy of the specific country or region. Okay, so usually this money is mainly used by the family for repayment of debts. Okay, medical treatment, marriages, children's education, purchasing agricultural inputs, or construction of houses. Usually that's the case, no? Okay, so sa case ni India, so similarly, remittances from international Indian migrants are one of the major source of foreign exchange in India. Okay, so that's why so top 20 remittance receiving countries by dollar amount. So in billions of dollars case no, so actually nasa Philippines number 5 ta. Okay, so na round no sa 11 to 12 billion. Okay, kanina ano no, kanina bar. Okay, so kaning kay India, kay China, kay Mexico, kay France, and then kay Philippines. Okay, so that's, I think that's in, ano no, annual no, na remittance. Because syempre, the million man kayo no, ang Filipinos. So, mag-abot jud billions of dollars ang remittances nila. Okay? So sa economics, so ang negative consequences niya naman, so sa example sa India, so what I've said, so unregulated migration to the metropolitan cities of India, okay, cause overcrowding or overpopulation. So that's why overpopulation means okay, creation of slums or creation of squatters area or mga shanties, guys, no? That's why development of slums in industrial developed states such as Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Delhi is the result of unregulated migration. Okay, so because ano na lang, no? Okay, pag gusto na lang tao migrate or seek, seek opportunities or chances, no? Sa example, sa mga major cities sa isa ka country. So, it would really result to overcrowding. Okay, so the underdevelopment gets even worse due to out-migration of skilled workers. Okay, so as what I've said earlier, like ang brain drain, guys, no? So, example, less developed country na mo. Okay? Tapos, for people, okay, from mas, dili na ganun ang opportunity sa, sa municipalities, or sa towns, tapos kwaon pa jud sa ilaha ang mga skilled workers nila or mga nila no, mga intelligent nila na mga tao, no. So that's really would result to brain drain. Okay, so no, so economic consequences. So brain drain, and also so green revolution. So also this. So imagine, guys, no, that's why si India para siya sa top 5 no of countries na daghan positive no sa COVID. So because kahit ano mo ka social distancing, guys, if this is the case, okay, so and then this is the case, guys, no. So paano ni ka social distancing, no? And then this. So parang wala jud chance, guys, no. Okay, so that's why number 2 ata or number 3. Basta na siya sa top 5, guys, no, si India as one of the countries no all over the world with the highest number of positive cases. Okay, so So demographic consequences guys, no, for demographics. Okay, so actually part siya gyapon no sa okay when it comes to like in ano it's either economic siya guys no or environment. Okay, so positive consequences. So migration led to the redistribution of population within a country. This is really true. Syempre, if regulated no ang pag-migrate. So it also letter B, so it results in balanced distribution of people according to resources. So it would really ano man guys no, for example, that's the main reason na kung daghan tao sa isa ka lugar, chances are majority of the resources digto laman pod makadto sa ilaha. It's because in the first place they need those resources. Okay? So that's the main reason why China no grabe siya ka-aggressive in almost everything. It's because nagadaghan man pod nagadaghan ang okay ang need na resources ni China. Okay, so you all know no that's what I've said na regarding sa resources, regarding sa things na especially non-renewable no na resource. So syempre in the future things would become very rare to find. Especially no pag ma-deplete na ang kana na specific resources or kana specific na resource. Okay, so last or number 3. Okay, so rural-urban migration is one of the important factors contributing to the population growth of cities. Okay, so especially no if unregulated siya, that's why would really cause overcrowding or overpopulation no sa kato na specific city. Okay, so ang negative consequences niya naman would be okay, so what I've said sa inyo ano, example sa India na dili balance ang okay ang composition okay or ang ratio no sa gender okay or sa sex. So mas sa cities because of male Indians or male Indians na wanted to migrate interstate okay so or sa mga urban places guys no because of economic opportunities or economic reasons. So mas daghan jud sa cities lalaki compare sa babae. Pero sa rural naman because of gusto sa mga female Indians na pag mag-migrate sila, usually because of marriage, it's only for a short distance. Okay? Or for ano lang, intrastate lang na ginatawag. So, chances daghan ang babae, no? Because syempre, atong mga lalaki sa town na ato or sa katong mga rural areas, okay, usually nag-aadto sila sa urban. That's why mas madaghan jud ang babae when it comes to sa ratio no sa hindi natawag na sex composition. Okay, so that's why no sabi large cities have unfavorable sex ratio as compared to rural areas due to high male immigration. Okay, so rural areas face shortage of skilled people because most skilled and semi-skilled people migrate to urban areas. That's what I've said earlier. Okay, so sa social naman or cultural, okay, so positive consequences niya would be, so migrants or immigrants act as agents of social change. So this is really true. So the new ideas related to new technologies like family planning, girls' education, and etc. Okay, get spread from urban to rural areas through them. Okay, so also migration also leads to intermixing of people from diverse cultures and results in the evolution of a composite culture. And also the mindset of people changes. They start thinking broadly and the narrow views changes. So that's the positive side. If you're going to approach it or if you're going to take it as a positive thing, no, kanang socio-cultural na consequences or effects ni migration. Pero kung dili ka naman open-minded, okay, so that would lead to this or would lead to the negative consequences or the negative effects. So, Okay, so it also causes anonymity, which creates social vacuum and sense of dejection among individuals. Okay, so continued feeling of dejection may motivate people to fall in trap of antisocial activities like crime and drug abuse. Okay, so kung feeling mo na parang nubo ang nubo ang pagtrato sa imo over sa uban no, sa ubang tao or like ang self syempre maano jud maapektuhan jud no imong self confidence or imong self esteem nato. So that's why feeling or chances are if ang tao no gamay ang self esteem or ang iyang self confidence, chances are na ma-influence jud siya no sa mga tao na to do this kind of things no like crime and drug abuse. Okay, so migration affects the woman more. So in rural areas, male selective out migration, leaving their wives behind, puts extra physical as well as mental pressure on the women, which increases their vulnerability. Okay, so that's why no, lahi or isojod ang LDR na relationship guys no. So even would really, especially pag may pamilya ka na, so it would really put your wife or your ang mga babae or females at or women at risk. Okay? So syempre lisod no maging both no papa ug mama sa imong anak for example. If for example imong ang ang husband nagtrabaho sa layo na lugar. So that's why even in India they actually felt that specific problem or the negative effect ni migration. Okay, so kana gani no internal migration na gani no. Okay, how much more if it is a international migration. Okay, so sa environment naman, okay, so overcrowding of people due to rural-urban migration has put pressure on the existing social and physical infrastructure in urban areas. So this ultimately leads to unplanned growth of urban settlement and formation of slums and shanty colonies. So that's why now usually ang mag-suffer in the long run is usually the environment if there is overcrowding and overpopulation. Siyempre no, when it comes to palang daan sa waste control pa lang no or sa waste disposal pa lang, that's a very big concern. So imagine no ang gakaitabo sa Manila Bay. Okay? Or sa Manila no when regards to their garbage disposal, okay? Or their waste management guys no. Maybe that's the result of overcrowding and overpopulation sa NCR. Okay, so letter C, apart from this, due to overexploitation of natural resources, cities are facing an acute problem of depletion of groundwater. So that's why no, hugaw no ang tubig or ang groundwater no. Okay, so air pollution and disposal of sewage and management of solid waste. Okay, so kanina usually kanidyo ang problema sa mga dili naman actually sa Manila guys no or sa NCR but in other countries as well, especially mga less developed countries. Okay? So so like in this picture guys no, that's the result of overcrowding and overpopulation. Especially when it comes to waste management and waste disposal. Okay, so regarding actually that's the end no of that's the end of the this presentation. Okay, so next naman, okay, before we dismiss, so we're going to discuss like some of the theories no of Okay, so okay, so regarding this, so the theories of migration. So this actually by a presentation by Chera Chatterjee and Nandlal Mishra. Okay, so why people migrate? Okay, and so who, why, when, how many of them migrates, and to from where, and then to where. Okay, so usually these are the questions, no? Okay, so usually we have discussed this kung paano, no? Kung paano nag-migrate, or dapat why, no, or what's the reason. Okay, so that's why we discussed the factors a while ago. Actually about the push and pull factors. Okay, so this actually the migration theories, okay, that we encounter we were going to encounter. Okay, so no worries again, like I have provided, no, a summary of this. Okay, so number one would be Ravenstein's law of migration. Okay, so this is by E.G. Ravenstein in 1880s. Okay, so for him, so like this is the characteristic of his law of migration. According to him, so migration decrease daw with the increase in distance. Okay, so tama, no, usually paglayo daw, or layo, no, or the increase in distance sa place of migration, or sa katong dapat sa iluhan, no, so chances are dili daghan, no, ang maka-migrate, or okay, dili maka ano, or like the number of migration decreases, no, when the distance increases, or the distance of that specific place kung asa gusto mag-migrate ang isa ka tao. Okay, so also according to him, it occurs towards the great centers of commerce and industry. So that's why what we have discussed usually, or what we have discussed earlier, na majority of the time usually it's for economic reasons. Okay, because of this great centers of commerce and industry, so usually for economic opportunity. Okay, so that's according kay Ravenstein. And also, each mainstream of migration produce a counter stream. Okay, so that's why, no, may ginatawag na, or may provide, no, na 4 streams of migration a while ago. So on a specific stream daw, or according kay Ravenstein, may counter stream daw na may tabo. So for example, if may tao na magpa-city, or if may tao, no, na magpa-rural, or sorry, may tao naggikan sa rural, or halin sa rural magpa-syudad or magpa-urban, chances are may araman pod or taga-urban na gusto magpa-rural. So like if there for each mainstream there is a counter stream. So that's why may urban to urban, rural to rural, and then urban to rural, and rural to urban. So those are the 4 mainstreams ni migration. Okay, so according to Ravenstein also, rural to urban migration is most common. Okay, it's because of what I've said, like economic opportunity, because of this.
Asa tong charger sa akong notice?
Okay, so female predominance among short distance migrants, or short distance migrants. So what ito, no, katong kanina ang example sa India, na mas prefer na mga Indian females na mag-migrate intrastate or in short distances. Okay, so dominance of economic motives and technological advancements promotes migration. So like one of the pull factors daw, okay, or like naga-incite, no, or naga-invite, no, or naga-attract, no, sa gusto mag-migrate ang technological advancements. according kay Ravenstein. Okay, so usually no, parang majority of the explanation, Ravenstein usually ang focus niya would be the economic reasons or economic aspect, no, or the economic part ni migration. Okay, especially no kaning giningon niya na okay, ito core towards the great centers of commerce and industry. So pag gaboom ang business and the industry sa kana na lugar, so usually chances are dira daw mag-migrate ang tao. Okay, because syempre of economic reasons, economic opportunities. Okay, so that's for okay, so kay Ravenstein na okay, law of migration. Okay, so for the gravity model by Sif in 1946, nag-provide lang siya ng model no or formula on okay, so actually based on upon Newton's law of gravitation. Okay, so according kay Zef, so distance or the formula daw guys no would be so kaniyang label. So si P1 would be population place of place A or like chances are this would be the okay, would be the kung asa gikan no or the home country. Okay, and then P2 would be the population place of B. Okay? Or the destination or the receiving country. Okay, so and then okay, so letter K would be a constant relating volume of migration or na volume no or gaano kadaghan ba ang naga-migrate no at any specific time. So formula would be so according kay Zef would be so si migration equals to okay, so distance or sorry, volume ni migration at any specific time si letter K. So times okay okay times na population of place A. Okay, and also the population ni place B. Or sorry no, not actually the home country and receiving country, but the specific place lang. Okay, so population ni A and then population ni B. So that's P1 and P2. So time no or sorry, volume or number of migration okay times the number of population sa place A and then times the number sa of population sa place B divided by distance between the two places. Okay, so that's how you're going to ano daw, how are you going to get migration daw or the number of people na naga-migrate. Okay, so for example, may 500 no na constant volume ni migration at any specific time. So like may 500 ka tao na okay na naga-migrate at any given time or any specific time daw guys no. So 500. Okay. So given no for example ang P1 and P2 1,000 each sila. Okay, so i-solve na to guys no. And then ang distance pa pala no. So okay, so example would be the distance is ang distance no ni place A and then ni place B kung gaano sila kalayo. So for example, 10,000 10,000 miles. Layo kayo no. Okay, so ilan yung answer guys? Okay, so the answer sa migration would be my 50,000 ka. Okay, so 500 times 1,000 times 1,000 equals okay, so may 500 million guys no. Okay, so divided by 10,000 miles. So that's 50 50 okay, 50,000. Okay, so like in a given daw sa may sa base sa Sif's gravitational model, okay na may uh, may 50,000 people na nag-migrate and any given or like kato no at any given time based sa kato na formula. Okay, so next would be least theory of migration. Actually regarding sa push and pull factors guys no, din actually nagikan no kay kay E.S. Lee in 1965 na theory of migration. Okay, so ano may siya no factors which affect migration. So number 1, factors associated with the area of origin. So income, job, opportunities, etc. Number 2, factors associated with the destination. So risk, uncertainty, and expectations, etc. So syempre kung ikaw no, if you wanted or if you want to migrate, mapamangkot ba like sa sa iluhan no or sa imigratean mo na country na madawat ba ka or ma-accept ba imong like qualified ba ka sa mga trabaho dito. So those are things na i-consider mo. Dili naman ka maka-decide basta-basta na basta-basta lang ka mag-migrate guys no. Unless it's parang napuwersahan ka lang mag-migrate because there is a political conflict or may war sa inyong lugar. So for that instance, dapat ka na mag-decide agad-agad na need mo mag-seek refuge or need mo mag-migrate or maghawa no sa inyong lugar because of your safety concerns. Pero kung sa kani, like kanang you have the luxury of time no to think na or make decision na need jud ba dapat nimo mag-migrate or dili no. Okay, so that's why as what I've said dili applicable no or dili lang basta-basta no na that's why based sa kay Ravenstein's law of motion na as the distance increases, okay, migration decreases or number of people who wanted to migrate decreases because syempre it's okay, time consuming, okay, ang imong time, imong effort, and imong resources, makonsume jud siya. Okay? That's why no, as what I've said, usually ang makamigrate would be those who have financial resources, okay, or monetary resources to migrate. Okay, so also number 3 na factors no which affect migration according to Lee's theory of migration would be intervening obstacles between area of origin and destination. So kanino distance and loss etc. For example, may mga things ka no sa imong current place nimo or sa current country nimo nga gina-enjoy mo nga right now. And then or sa katuna country na imong lipatan dili mo na siya ma-enjoy or the things no na gina-enjoy. So chances are dili ka ma-persuade no or dili ka ma-attract no na mag-migrate sa katuna lugar. But for example, the things mo no na gina-enjoy mo right now sa country nato or sa imong kung asa ka man ngayon, magdoble siya or mas okay to no ang sa katuna sa iluhan nimo. So chances are ma-attract ka and then it would actually provide you reasons na gusto mo jud mag-migrate once you already have the capability no to do so or the resources to do so. Okay, so also and lastly also kina-consider sa Lee's theory of migration ang personal factors like age, okay, your your gender or your sex, your race, your education, and then your health, and then etc. Okay, so that's why chances are gamay mong chance no na maka-migrate pa or if tigulang na ka. Okay, so it's because you're going to be a liability guys no instead of being an asset no sa katong country na imong sailuhan unless for example ginpetisyonan ka no sa imong relatives. Okay, so that's the case. Pero for sure, for example, kung ikaw pa lang no So chances are dako chance na ma-reject jud ka. Okay? Especially if you are if you're going to undergo kanang kanang legal immigrant, guys, no? Okay. So so volume of migration, the volume of migration varies with the degree of diversity of areas, diversity of people, okay, the difficult surmounting intervening obstacles, and also consider ang fluctuations in the economy. So still no, this is under the theories of migration ng kanino. Okay, so unless severe checks are imposed, both volume and rate of migration tend to increase with time. Okay, so syempre, as technology improves, as as transportation improves, and also as resources being readily made available, so chances are magtaas jud ang number of migration in the times to come. Okay, so kanino? So stream and counter stream. So gin-explain also. So migration tends to take place, okay, largely within well-defined streams. So for every migration stream, a counter stream develops. So that's according to kay Rabinstein actually, no? Okay, so gin-explain ang stream and counter stream. The efficiency of stream and counter stream tends to be low if origin and destination are similar. Okay. The efficiency of migration stream will be higher if intervening obstacles are great. Okay, so ito no ang kanino? Okay. Like distance and loss. Okay, so that's why efficiency of stream and counter stream tends to be low. The efficiency of migration stream will be higher if intervening obstacles are great. Okay, so meaning, mas dako no mas dako ang efficiency or ang pag-effect no sa migration. Kanang specific migration stream if the intervening obstacles are higher, so like the distance and loss and etc. Okay, so and then also the efficiency of migration stream varies with economic conditions, okay, being high in prosperous times and lows in times of depression. So maging effective daw ang migration stream if in prosperous times, okay? So dako tsansa mo nga mag-successful imong migration. Okay? And then mas gamayan tsansa if there is a depression or may economic instability or may economic problems, no? Siyempre, i-reject jud ka. For example, gusto mo mag-adto sa Amerika tapos may depression, no? Ma-reject jud kay for sure si Amerika dili na siya mangdawat no sa mga tao outside the country. It's because may no, may problema na economically. So meaning the problema sa resources, chances that's the case, no? Okay, if economic instability. So that's the case, no? Chances are magproblema sa resources. So syempre, si Amerika, knowing na a strict country siya, no? And they control freak siya na country, chances are kana jud yang buhaton. Okay? So that's regarding no the stream and counter stream. Okay, so characteristics of migrants. So migration is selective, not a random sample of the population. Okay, so migrants responding primarily to plus factor at destination tend to be facilely selected, usually mga highly educated. Okay, so tama no, Mr. Katakutan, you're correct, no? So 50,000. Okay, so regarding this, guys, so because it's already time, so no worries, I actually provided you, or actually it's available na no in our classroom, Google Classroom, under topic 6 or chapter 6, which is migration. So nato digto no ang about sa mga theories of migration. Actually this and also this presentation, no, nato siya digto, guys. Okay, so if you have questions and suggestions, if you have questions and comments or suggestions and other clarification that needs to be answered, just message me, no? It's either on our group chat or directly. Okay, so because I may klase pa mo, guys, no? That's the reason, no, that's why I cut short the discussion, no, about the theories of migration. Okay, so and then so regarding, no, sa energy, which is chapter 7, that so be going to be included, no, in your exam, so this coming weekend. So no worries, I'm going to provide you lang a recording, and also the notes, or notes, no, na po dito, no, I mean, na like the pointers, no, of the exams. Okay, so na lang po dito, no, sa classroom. Okay, so I'm just going to provide you with the instructions, no, kung asa banda dito ang okay ma-appeal, no, or ma-include sa exam. Okay, so before we dismiss, so let's have a prayer first. Okay, so Mr. Gulanes, can you lead the prayer? Okay, so let's all bow down our heads and feel the most holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Yeah. God, thank you for this wonderful afternoon that we have. Please take us as we have our next lesson and our upcoming exam. In your name we pray, amen. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Okay, Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So praise be Jesus and Mary. Okay, now and forever. So thank you guys. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so bye guys. See you on Monday.